Okay, so I'm here with Mr. Armand the Crane Herczeg. Obviously, you've probably all seen if you followed his Instagram that he's actually moved over to the UK. So we're going to talk to him a bit about that, and then his plans for the year. The last time we seen him, he obviously he lost against Jake. So how did you feel when you lost that fight, especially with the build up to it as well? And how were you after? Are you cool now, or what's the story?
Me and Jake were always cool. It's like it was never a thing where we had animosity towards each other. I knew how to fight with Sal. He knew how to fight with Sal. He got on to me before he got called me out. Said he has to call me out. Blah blah blah. I told him I'm gonna chat shit. I guess some people in his team thought I took it too far, but me and Jake are cool. I couldn't care that he bet me. Well done. You bet me in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I still bet you in 34 seconds. So I'm still the winner here. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't really mind. I don't really mind. At the end of the day, you look at how many people seen me and Jake fight. The second time, it's what, like maybe 2,000 people. But if you check the Octagon episode 2, just on Channel 4 itself, what does it say? 90,000 people. So what? 90,000 people see me choke them unconscious. You know what I mean? So
you,
go off that.
you're still chatting shit. Still chatting
Nah,
shit.
I'm not chatting shit, bro. But like at the end of the day, like it's one of them things where like I knew I felt like I progressed enough to beat him, and I still do think I can beat him. And if I fought him again in a couple months' time when I do fight again, I could definitely beat him. He's very beatable, but I just didn't. I didn't get to commit myself as much as I wanted to train with FAI. Obviously, with the cross training and living in Dundalk and traveling up and all, I wasn't as committed as I could be. Didn't obviously have any of them boys in my corner, which would have been a big plus. But just one of them things where we have to move on from it. I can't dwell and cry about losing to him. It's to me, it's one of them things that we just get over. I've lost before. It's not that big of a deal. I know where I went wrong, and the minute I've realised I went wrong and where I went wrong, I've decided to make a change, and that change was come to top team. I spoke with Princey, made the decision to come over, and from the first day I've come over, I've been leveling up so much, adding to my game. Princey's a genius. He's a brilliant coach, and the way he coaches me is brilliant. And I've just fit in very well with the team. I feel like I'm here months already, so I'm happy. I'm happy with my progression, and I'm happy for the future. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, yeah, I picked up something obviously that's interesting. You said you weren't as committed as as you could have been. Is that due to being at home, and is moving to the UK? Is that you wanted to take yourself out of your comfort zone, where this is kind of not all you have, but it's you can make it all you have because obviously at home you've got family, you've got friends, you've got this, you've got that. Whereas
Yeah,
you take yourself into the UK, you don't have all those other, I don't want to call them distractions, but outside noise. Whereas you need to concentrate on you now and progressing yourself. Was that the reason?
look, I look at my life like it's a movie, and I'm the main character, and I just wanted to create the greatest comeback story ever. So I let myself go 0-2. Nah, I'm only joking, but nah, I'm only joking. But look, call a spade a spade. It's distractions. I went through a lot last year, which a lot of people don't know about. But when I get the chance to actually speak about it properly, I will, and it'll come to light, and people will understand more what these distractions were. Um, and to be honest, for me, it was one of them things where I felt like I needed to get out of my comfort zone, and I needed to be in a position where, as much as I was the hammer, I need to be the nail now, and I need to be the small fish in the big pond. And it's no disrespect to anyone, but when you're training in Dundalk, I'm training with 5 fighters at most, and if the boys aren't in, I'm not training with fighters. I'm not training with professional athletes. Everyone else was amateur at Sander, and I have a lot of love for the boys, and I hope they do very well. Shay, Jess, everyone, they're all great. Liam, Caleb, they've all been great training partners and all. But I'm at a point in my career where I felt like I could progress, but I couldn't progress fast enough to keep up with the level of Octagon. So I needed to make a decision for myself, and it's a selfish sport. And at the end of the day, it's me that's walking into the cage, and if I'm not walking in with full confidence in my backing of my training and who's there for me, then I'm not able to compete at the level I want to. And I know I'm as good as these lads that I've even lost to. I've lost a lot of Radic on a week's notice, but I know now if I got a call today, oh, you're fighting him on Saturday, I beat him no problem with Princey in my corner. I have full faith in him and full full belief in him. So it's just one of them things where I needed to make this decision, and it's the best decision I ever made. I'm gonna go very far in my career now, and all the goals and aspirations and dreams that I have, I know I can make them happen with a top team.
Yeah, no, it is obviously Dennis is over there. There's loads of really high level guys over there.
Loads.
And like you said, it's a selfish sport, and you need to think about yourself because it's short career. So whatever you feel your best decision, if you feel that was to go to Manchester top team, only you can make that decision. Only you will know. And from the sounds of things, you feel like it feels like that has been the right decision for you. So, what's it like then? Obviously, you're back with Dennis, from the Octagon House. What's it like being around Dennis again?
So everyone gives Dennis shit because he talks a lot of shit, and I understand. But one thing, since I've come over here and I've seen with my own eyes, Dennis is the hardest worker in the room. He grafts, and it's gonna add to me. It's gonna add to how hard I want to work, because Dennis has been very helpful with me since the show, and he has pushed me and he has made me progress. But even now coming here, he doesn't let me slack at all. Like if I'm trying to stay off a training session, he'll just abuse me, and I don't want to listen to his abuse, so I just go and train. You know what I mean?
I don't
So he's
blame
been
you.
very
I
good.
don't
He's
blame
helped
you.
me a lot. He's helped me a lot, definitely, and even the rest of the lads, like Lewis McGrillen, Louis Lightning, who just won the Aries World Title, like all these lads that I'm surrounded around. I'm surrounded by winners, and I'm surrounded by top athletes. Larone obviously training here. Ibrahim's here as well, who's the most ducked featherweight in all of UK. Like there's so much talent here that people might not even know, have heard about in Ireland. But I can name everyone, Callum Connor as well, even the girls like Sammy Joe and Izzy. They're all talented individuals, and I'm just feeding off that, growing off that, and learning off it. And I think I'm just a good fit for the team as well. The style that Princey teaches and the way he teaches it's just fitted in with me very well. It's exactly what I needed, and I'm happy with that. So I can't say anything bad. It's like I said, it's the best decision I could have made, and even with the decision that myself and Princey have decided to do, we're gonna go down to bantamweight. So I feel like at bantamweight, I'm gonna do a lot better.
At bantamweight, you're going to be quite tall for a
I want to
bantamweight.
be massive at bantamweight. They're all gonna be up to my knees,
And obviously, the featherweight cuts, like how are the cuts for you now, and how do you envision the bantamweight cuts going? Because obviously, when people might say, "Oh, it doesn't sound like a lot dropping that much," but obviously, when you're that low already, dropping that much of a body weight, is it going to be a thing over time where you're going to reduce your walking down rate so these cuts don't become an issue or too taxing, let's say?
Yeah, well, to me, for example, yeah, I feel like when I cut the bantamweight, I didn't water load. I wasn't really I've worked with Yannick in the past. I wasn't working with him at the time I was doing the pro cuts as well. He's given me a bit of advice if I texted him and all, but I wasn't strict with him. Even when I did work with him, I wasn't pretty strict either. Like amateur, I half-assed the whole thing. To be honest, I've not trained properly at amateur. I haven't trained properly for Radic because it was only a week's notice. For Jake, I half trained properly, but now I'm training 3 times a day, twice a day, doing sprints, doing strength and conditioning. I'm doing everything, so it's going to be a lot easier. I'm going to be obviously back working with Yannick. I'm watching me food and diet already. Sorry, I have the hiccups, but
All right,
everything's going well for me, and I'm happy with it. So I feel like bantamweight's very doable. I'm at a good weight to make bantamweight. Featherweight's super easy for me to make. I can eat chocolate and eat pizza and all. Like fight week when I'm cutting the featherweight. To be honest, to be honest with you, I was eating Domino's fight week and everything. So for me, the weight cut wasn't a problem. It was always handy enough.
Yeah, no, and obviously getting back with Yannick is obviously a good thing because you were with him before, and you're not obviously Dennis is with him. There's so many fighters with him at the minute. Every time I talk to a fighter, like, oh, I just joined up with Yannick. But it seems like obviously towards the end of your amateur career and the start of your pro career, it seems like you've learned a lot. One of the things you said to me was you'll never really fight on a week's notice again, will you? Because especially at pro, it means so much. Well, I say that and there's a smile on your face.
Nah, I won't make bantamweight on a week's notice.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. I'm too big to make it on a week's notice. Give me 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I'll make bantamweight. But give me a catchweight, I might do it because I'll fuck these little boys up. I know these bantamweights can't hit hard. Every single one of you bantamweights watching this, these are all dead in octagon, I'm telling you. Because when I come down to that weight division, I'm going to be too long, too big, and too strong. Like, I fought a lightweight on the show. I fought George. He's an actual lightweight. I've sparred lightweights a lot. I've sparred welterweights. Bantamweights obviously don't hit as hard unless you're Lewis McGrillen, who will sleep you with a left hand, no problem. You know what I mean? So there is obviously hard hitting bantamweights as well. But I just feel like I'm going to be too big and strong for these lads, and I can see myself becoming champ within the next 2 years at Octagon.
And do you have then like a set, like you said, you've got this plan in place to become bantamweight. So do you have a timeline of when you potentially want to fight again, or is there something in the works at the minute?
Nothing in the works. I'm planning to just get better, progressing my skills and all. Hopefully summer, if not summer, just a wee bit after summer. But I'm not in a rush, bro, because like I just moved over here. I really want to gel together with Princey and the rest of the coaches and really like understand their systems and understand how they work and what they want me to do. And then when Princey looks at me and goes, "Kid, it's time for you to go and whoop some ass," then I'll do that, no problem. But it's up to Princey. I told him as soon as I landed over, I goes, "Look, this is honestly true. I'm putting everything in your hand. You tell me when you want me to jump out and go for it, and I will. I'm not rushing." Now, there was this little cheeky Czech cunt that was giving me a bit of cheek, and I was like saying to Princey, I was like, "Let me know what you think of this fella. I wouldn't mind fighting him because he's a cheeky cunt." And Princey said he wants that 5 minutes back that he watched off the man because he was awful. But we'll have to see how it goes. He's not going to end up fighting me anyway because he's a bit of a shot. Like a lot of these Czech boys just talk and don't back it up. Whereas you know yourself with Dennis and myself, like I'll fight anyone, anytime, anywhere type of thing, but just not a bantamweight.
Yeah, obviously you're gonna need a bit of notice like that, and talk to us. Obviously, although you're a fighter, you've been in gyms for years and like that, you're a grown man. But when you go to a new gym, like you have, and you said you want to get used to the system and all, like it's still a kind of overwhelming experience. So, like, how did you find it walking into a new gym? You're having to meet all new people, meet new people again. Was there nerves, excitement, or a mix of both?
Well, like everyone knew me from coming off the show, first of all, like so they knew of me, knew who I was and all. And like the minute I got off the plane, the first thing I did was jump into a session. I literally came off the plane and was training straight away. So I got into the mix very quick, really enjoyed it with everyone, and I was happy with it. So I'm not in a like it was one of them things where I felt like I was at home anyway. Do you know, like everyone's so welcoming and the atmosphere of the gym is it's a whole bunch of lads like myself that are just working together and we all have the same dream and ambition. And like it was the same as well with FAI. The only thing is I couldn't get the best out of it because I was cross training. You know, I couldn't make that commitment of fully joining up and all. So I couldn't get that little bit of extra help from Pat and Shando, which is understandable. You know, I wasn't really their fighter. So I couldn't get that progression that I needed. But even them 6 months that I trained there, as much as I was up, my levels went up high and high and high, and I'm so grateful for it because even coming here, I know if I came there without training with them, I'd be way behind, and I'm not. I'm getting good rounds in and sparring with good level pros, and doing well, and that's thanks to FAI as well. You know, they helped me a lot, so I'm happy with everything that's going on. When I came here, everything was welcoming, and they were very sound. So, like I said, I feel like I'm training here like 6 months at least already.
Yeah, no, I think obviously like that. We'll see obviously when you get back to fighting, the progression and stuff. It sounds like it's the right move for you because like we talked a little bit before, you said you needed to step out of that comfort zone, you know, the sort of way. And I think a lot of people do at times because sometimes, and it's not through a fault of coaches or gyms or anything, sometimes just in your mind, you become quite lax and you become quite stagnant because you find yourself too comfortable sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
And you don't push yourself. And I'm not saying that was the case, but I find that's the case with me in certain aspects of life.
No, definitely. Like for me, it was a thing where like this isn't anything like where like Darren or Sander wasn't good enough for me or anything like that. Never that. Like I'll always, if I go home, I'll end up training with them. I'll train at FAI. You know, I'll always go to the gyms that I trained at and all. And and I will always still do that, and I'll always come and help the boys if Shay has a big fight and he needs me for rounds or anything like that. I have no problem coming and helping him. But mentally, I wasn't in a good place in Ireland, and I needed to get out of that, because when you're fighting with your own self in your own head, you're not going to be able to fight anyone outside of it. So it was one of them things where I just needed to make sure that I was doing the right thing for myself, and this definitely was. Mentally, I'm a lot better off. Physically, I am as well. So I'm happy here.
You know, I'm glad to hear that you're better mentally as well, because like you said, your mind is probably your toughest opponent that you'll ever come across in your life, and if you can't defeat him, then like you said, you can't really go on to become the best self of you. But in terms of Octagon, are you signed to a contract? Like, how many fights you have left on your contract?
Yeah, so I'm signed to a contract with them. I'm not sure if I can actually talk about how much fights I have or anything like
Okay.
that, to be honest. But I am signed still with them. Everything's still cool with them. Like, so it's grand. My manager's working on stuff for me for the future. But like you were saying with like the defeating yourself, like you were saying with like defeating yourself mentally, I don't think like you need to defeat yourself mentally. I think you need to more befriend the mentality you have in that. And instead of like trying to like beat yourself up or beat yourself mentally, I think you need to learn how to like understand yourself better. That's what I've been working on, and that's what's been helping me as well. So I feel like if anyone out there is fighting with themselves mentally, try not to fight yourself as much. Try and befriend yourself and do things that will make it better for you. And one of the big things I would say is definitely getting into a gym and training.
Yes. Like someone said it to me before, and I never really looked at it like this. Right? Just say me and you are best friends, right? You have a fight, you lost, right? In your own head, you're like, I fucking should have done this. I'm shit, no good, whatever, right? But if I had a fight and I lost, and you said that to me, would you say that to me? Probably not.
I probably would.
Okay, right. I need to put it in different
So,
context.
but I
But
wouldn't go like, oh,
if
you
it,
should have
like,
done this, should have done that. I'd say, right, bro, this is what you need to work on.
yeah, no, but the way I phrased it wrong, but just saying like you're shit, you're this, you're that. Whereas if
Yeah,
you said that to everyone, you'd have no friends. So why do people, and I'm not saying that's what you said, but you need to be kind yourself. You need to be a friend to yourself, because
yeah,
if you kind of spoke or with whatever's going on in your head, if you were like that with other people, you wouldn't have them around you. So you do
yeah.
need to be a friend to yourself, all in all. But no, I'm glad. Obviously, you seem much better. I'm glad that you're better mentally. The gym seems to be a good move for you. Take yourself out of your comfort zone. And obviously, bantamweight, I'm looking forward to seeing how you get on there. I'm going to let you go on. Thank you very much for your time. Is there anything you want to say before you go?
Yeah, just anyone that's looking to support me in any way, just be patient. I'm grafting in the background. The shutters are down. It's tunnel vision here, and when I come back, you'll understand why I took my time off. It's the best thing for me, and it's the best thing for my future. So I don't want the pinnacle of my career being all kids. I fought an octagon. Look, that was me fighting an octagon, but I lost. I want my pinnacle to be very far in the sport, and I want to be remembered for a long time. So this is why I'm doing it, and I hope the patience of my fans that watch, or my supporters. I don't really like calling the people that are watching me as fans. Like, more be like supporters, because they support me, and like anyone that's asking me when I'm fighting again, and all, just be patient. When I come back, it'll be the right time, and it'll be the right performance.
Yeah, because you can only come back when you feel ready. Like I said, you need time to gel. You need a lot of things to fall into place now, be it with weight, your progression, stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing you come back. I want to thank you so much for your time. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have a talk in a couple of weeks or a couple of months before you do come back anyways.
Definitely, you'll be the first man I'll let know about anything coming up, and we'll use your platform to announce it.
Perfect. You're an absolute legend, and I will see you soon, my friend.
No problem, Dave. Thank you for having me on.